All right, y'all. What's up? Welcome back to Ivy Knows Best. It's me, Ivy, as always. And sometimes it's not me, but it's me today. So, with me today, we have a whole host of guests today. Let's go ahead and start with obviously Kush, the supervillain himself.
The
Also,
podcast Putin.
also my boy Trey G,
Yeah.
Miss Christy, the lovely queen, and one half of the Ladies Lair podcast, along with Christy, Miss Simone. Simone,
That
welcome
sounded
to the
good.
show.
Hi.
What? Damn, boy, they gonna love you
That's
for
what
real.
we did today.
Hey,
Right.
we br-
That's
we brought we brought it back, right? We brought y'all a little biggity bounce along with everything else we got on for y'all today.
exactly.
All right, so how everybody been doing, man? How y'all doing?
That was my first time seeing it. Can I see it again?
Oh, that's what she's known for.
Yeah.
See?
Well, I usually it's like it just be bouncing. I'm sorry. This was a PG show, right?
Hey,
Don't
look,
apologize for that.
Christy, you got some entertainment over there?
I am not interested.
No
She's the
entertainment?
entertainer. She's the show.
She's the calm
No.
one. Okay.
I am
Y'all
the
should know
one
that.
who, like, when she's running, I'm like, hi guys, please check us out again. Related Their podcast. You can find us at while she's like titties bouncing, probably ass shaking, maybe licking a heel somewhere.
I have shorts on right now. I'm not drunk enough, and I'm still high.
Yeah, she's very sober these days.
hey, look at God.
Um,
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
No.
Won't he do it? So look, guys. All right. Let's go ahead and draw this in now, right? Let's bring this all in.
Wait.
So look, we were having this conversation. As y'all know, everything we do here on the show starts with the conversation. We were talking about mental health and how mental health is a really big deal right now. And we were watching, I believe we were watching Bel Air and a couple other shows where we were talking about how mental health is shown on those shows, right? So before we get into, obviously, we're gonna have that segment later on in the show, Trey G's corner for that. But what we are going to talk about though is mental health and how you deal with it. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the ladies first. Ladies, mental health check. How is your mental health going?
That's how you want to start today?
Yes, with a mental health check, of course. Yes, let's do that first. Before we start, before we start digging into the deep recesses of the conversation, let's check and see how you are.
I'm gonna say I'm sitting somewhere between here and not here.
Fine,
That's
right
just
on,
being honest.
right on, Simone.
Understandable. I'm actually doing really well. Yeah, this weekend. This weekend.
Okay.
You would ask me a week ago. I don't know, but I'm actually doing very, very good this week. Yeah.
Trey light skinned, so it might be a little. His mental health might be down a little bit.
Let's see, Trey.
I am
Trey?
light skinned too.
Hey, so-
okay,
But you're not a male. You're not a male. Light skin on females is
it's different.
right.
Hey, as a darkie, you have no say and so in our light skin capabilities and how they fluctuate through seasons, sir. You know what I mean? You're not mad at that because right now it's very like, we're not going outside. We're getting inside. Like the other day, I levitated, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I'm at my full peak probably right now. It's just hot. You know what I mean?
This is as light as it gets for you.
Right now. You know what I mean? It's only around the summertime. I gotta pick and choose when I come out. You know what I'm saying?
I can't unclutch my pearls.
Yeah, well, your man came to me trying to tell me how I gauge it, but I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like I know how it goes, but like right now I'm at high peak between October, probably March right now is when we're at the highest peak, you know what I'm saying?
Right on. So you tell me your mental health is mental health
yeah.
is right in the middle today. Everything's all right with you then.
Oh yeah, it's super close. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, Kush, your turn.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Supervillain.
I am great. As long as my bank account's okay, I'm good. That's how my mental health revolve around.
Well,
Understandable.
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing amazing as always. I'm never having a bad time. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not having a bad time. And now we can get into the conversation. I'm never having a bad time for two reasons. A, I don't deal with mental health. I don't. I really don't deal with my mental health. I just let shit go as it is, and I learn to get over it. Right. I think that in African American society or in Black society, let me say that instead, in the Black community, we do not really deal with mental health the same way as everyone else, right? Especially from a male perspective. No offense to our ladies, I'm pretty sure y'all have some of the same instances that we do as far as how y'all deal with it. But I personally don't deal heavily with my mental health. I mean, I'll just be honest with you.
You think that's healthy though?
It's healthier for me than it is for everyone else.
But who cares about everybody else? It's all about you.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why I would care about everyone else. Because if I allow me personally, if my mental health state goes off the rails, it's not safe for other people.
Well, then that's their problem. They
Man,
shouldn't be around you then. They're not.
why?
They can't handle it. They're not strong enough.
See,
Fuck 'em.
but I'm gonna disagree with that just a tad bit. I'm gonna tell you why. Because, all right, hypothetically speaking, if me and you were, well, no, use hypothetical. If
Mhm.
you, Christy, me, and Kush and Trey are all hanging out together, right? Kush is chilling, Trey's chilling. I'm having a mental health breakdown, right? At that time, I'm not communicating with them about what my mental health breakdown is. I'm not communicating with you and Christy what it is, but I'm lashing out. None of y'all signed up for that. When did you wake up that morning and say, yo, yeah, let me get that nigga right now having an emotional situation right now?
But if we were your friends, if we were close enough, we would know something is wrong and we would understand it. So then we're
That,
not your friends. So then we shouldn't be in your life anyway.
but not always, because I mean, I hide shit pretty well.
I'm just saying, if Christy was going through something and she was lashing out at me, I, as a friend, would know something's wrong with her. So I'm not gonna back up and be scared about it. I'm gonna tell her, okay, no, we're gonna handle this. What's wrong? Talk to me, because you should be handling it. I just don't think you should. I don't think it's healthy for you to hide it, because then
What,
you're just hurting yourself in the end of it.
what did Trey tell? Trey told me something the other day. Trey said, nigga, it's hard to be your friend. Remember this, Trey? Nigga, it's hard, nigga. You make it hard to be your friend, that you would get us all type of shit. And it's true. Kush, tell you, I've been friends with Kush longer than I've been friends with anybody on the show. That's just how it's always been. It's always been like that, right? But a large portion of that comes from not only people's understanding of what your mental health issue is or situation may be, it's how you may present your issues during the time of, right? So
True.
that's a piece of accountability. So that's just me. That's just how I do. But I do agree with you. If you are my friend, you should know what's up with me, and you know if something is or isn't, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk to some of the other guests on here. Anybody can chime in at this point. How do you deal with your mental health issues or moments?
Mine's is not healthy. Like I resort to my bubble. I do not communicate. I just shut the fuck down. I don't talk to anybody. I go to work. I talk to who's in my little circle, which literally consists of 2 to 3 people, more 2 than 3. But I just don't deal with it. But sometimes it comes to a point where, and over the summer, it came to a point where I was just like, I need to talk to somebody. And for me, that doesn't last long. I did it for like 3 sessions. Kind of helpful, but it was just kind of like,
It's something.
it's something, but you know, in our minds, we feel like having a therapist or something like that, this is going to solve the problem. But sometimes what it does is just to dig deeper and root up more of the shit that you just haven't dealt with, and shine a light on the fact that I haven't dealt with so much shit, but I still have a smile on my face. I'm still happy. I'm still going through life. And then regardless of what you're going through, at some point, all that shit that you've still just thrown under the bed and now it's starting to, you know, stink is still going to be there. So at some point, you're going to have to deal with it, be it with yourself or with a therapist or with a pastor or friend, whatever. It still has to get dealt with. So that's kind of where I'm at now. It's just like, you don't want to talk to anybody about it. Even sometimes, so I don't want to talk to someone about it. I'm fine. No, you're not. I'm saying I'm fine while I'm crying, but I'm fine.
Right. right. No, all right, Simone, go ahead. How about yourself?
So even I'm telling you, I don't think it's healthy. I don't deal with mine either like that. I tell everybody, once I go into work, everything that I have a problem with is outside of that door. I don't care. Like, I'm here to work. You're gonna get this big energy. I could have had a fight last night with somebody, and you're not gonna know anything because I'm gonna keep it in. Nobody's gonna know. But it's not healthy, because at the end of it, when I go into my car, then I'm crying, and because it's like I'm drained. It's like, fuck. But I'm the person that I will lay in my bed. That's my depression. I will lay in my bed and not talk to anybody, and I'll see the phone ringing and stuff, and I won't even answer. But I do see a therapist. But yeah, like she said, you think that your problems are going to be solved, but it's not going to be. It's just getting it out to somebody else that's supposed to not judge you. That's it.
Okay.
So it's nice
Okay.
to talk to a different person, but it's also like, is it gonna help me fully? We have to deal with our problems ourselves. Nobody else can help me. Christy can't help me. I have to do it. I have to deal with it. So
Okay.
I've been dealing with it by smoking a lot lately.
She was kicking it with the supervillain for a little bit. That's what she came out of. So what layer am I in? Is this the ladies layer or the supervillain's layer? He's like, it's a supervillain layer. It's gonna walk out the side door.
Listen, that smoking me help. I'm like, shit, I feel great. Never mind.
Speaking of that, let's go ahead and go to the supervillain himself. How do you deal with such things? If at all.
Uh,
If at all.
nah, I personally stay away from anything that I would consider to be a trigger for me, and that's people as well. Besides my kids, really, anybody else can go. Like,
Mhm.
people are people. It's 7 billion of y'all. Y'all can be replaced. You can get another best friend. You can get another. So I don't let the people around me bring me down and nothing like that. Like, you gotta go. And I also believe I believe that stress has to be released from the body. So I feel like once something bothers you and it gets on your mind, it has to be confronted. Whether it get resolved or not, that's a whole different conversation, but it has to be confronted. So if I feel a way about anything, I'm gonna say something about it right then and there. And that's kind of my release versus me going home and thinking about, you
Mm.
know, how you been fucking with me or how you pissed me off or whatever. I
You're a
just
Pisces, aren't you?
Nah, I'm Aries.
I was gonna say Aries too. Shit. So he looks out just like my brother.
But
Sorry.
nah, I just don't like when it comes to me personally, like I'm very selfish when it comes to my mental health. And if you hinder it in any kind of way, you gone.
Mm.
That's that.
I respect it. I actually respect
Mhm.
it. Hey Trey G, so how about you?
For me, first of all, I want to applaud y'all for talking about going to see therapists because a lot of it's a lot of what is the word I'm looking for?
Stereotypes about it.
Yeah, it's another S word I can't think of right now because of what's in the stuff. You know what I mean? But stigma about it, and
Mm.
so people don't want to go see them. And I think that it's good to go see a therapist because while you might think of it like, oh, I'm just talking about my problems with somebody just because they won't judge me. At the same time, it's good to uproot those issues. So therefore, you might have not even thought about it until you talk to somebody about it because you were apprehensive about expressing it to somebody because of fear of them going back and telling other people. So it's good to get that out and then go home and digest it and go through it with your own time and sequence and how you want to deal with it. But for me, as far as like how I deal with it is changing my mood. I might have to change the weather. I might have to go jump on a plane. I might have to go, and it's hard right now because of COVID. But even if that means just jumping in my car and driving 4 to 6 hours somewhere just to go get a room somewhere and chill out, just to change from being, where you're just stuck in the same little space where you're going to work, you're going to, you know what I mean, the same routines, you went through the same motions. So for me, it's travel. It's either travel or just trying different things, like learning different things. Like now, besides just listening to music, I like to listen to audiobooks or something like that, just to take my mind off of what's going on. And I don't sleep on meditation, and then exercise is also good for you. It releases the dopamine. I done picked up so much weight through the winter right now, eating red velvet cake and shit like that. You know what I mean? Going to Cheesecake Factory, eating that brown bread. You know what I'm talking about? You dip it in that dip
The
thing.
brown bread is
You know
so
what I
good.
mean? It's you dip it. You know what I mean?
No, you
Been
know
that
You know?
he was at Chili's with Christy with
I'm
them
Yeah.
about to
baby
say
back
All the people
ribs.
try with that
We,
Chili's,
getting
cuz.
them
we,
getting them fajitas brought to the table.
we had Corona ribs. We was dipping and sipping. You know what I mean? We was dipping and sipping. Yeah.
But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I do think that all of y'all do make very valid points, right? And I think it's very important because I said this right when we're talking about how we as an African American community do look at mental health. Up to recently, let's just say up to about 2018 ish. Everything prior to that, no one was really focusing on mental health. Like we would look at people who would take medication like there's a problem. if you are diagnosed with any kind of mental disability, if you can function without medication of some sort, that's fine. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. It is what it is. To each his own. But we didn't have so many people like in our community really championing that. Like, nigga, you seeing a therapist? What's wrong with you, nigga? Like, you better go get you some money. Money fix all your issues. Nigga, go get you some pussy. Pussy fix all your issues. These are the type of things that we taught, right? So when you're younger, I mean, I'm 33, so I'm pretty sure everybody on this show right now is at least 30 years old or older. Okay, so we all grew up with the same type of situations essentially, where when we're talking about mental health, you were not if you found out somebody was taking Prozac, you thought they was crazy. You thought people were crazy if they spent a week or a few days in a mental institution. In today's society, there's children. Like I have an older daughter. My daughter is 14, about to be 15 years old, who has friends who go in and out of these institutions. But these children are still children. It just happens to be now we're looking at mental health a little closer now because it's a serious thing now. It's not like something that we walk away from. And I think that it's positive that we're talking about it now, in such a way because we've all been conditioned for all these years to believe what we believe, right? So that's a positive. Kudos to all of you for working on your mental health, and kudos to all of us for recognizing what we are not taking care of. So round of applause to every single one of you, and thank y'all for doing that. Now, on the other hand, if you are out here dealing with any kind of mental health issues, reach out to somebody. Reach out to somebody. I got everybody's number on here. How often do I talk to all of you?
Do that much?
Also, do we ignore your phone calls? You mean, or no?
Yeah, but think about that, right? I'm calling to check on you, right, to see if you were alive and you were okay.
That's true.
Eric is, if you don't have that friend that check on you, even if you don't check on him, he's checking on you, and that's an important type of person to have in your life.
Because I'm showing up to you. Look, I don't want to. Look, I said this the other day. Me and my girl were talking, and I said, look, I said if I die, I don't know who's gonna be at my funeral, nor do I care. But what I do want motherfuckers to say is, I remember that motherfucker used to call me every fucking day, and he never wanted nothing else. That nigga just called to make sure I wasn't dead. Nigga might call, hey bro, you see them titties over there? I will call you for the smallest thing in the world. Let my daughter fart while I'm asleep. Hey nigga, hey Kush, I swear to fucking God, these children nasty as a motherfucker. Like I'm having this conversation because I feel like, I guess other than obviously podcasting and talking to people, communicating with all of you on a different level about different things is generally my kind of outlet, right? So when I talk to Kush, I was talking to Kush and Trey the other day. We were talking about like Texas music, like period. We were going back 94, 95, probably a little bit earlier than that, with people that we like, music that we knew and shit that we knew and stuff like that. And like that just kind of brought it all together like at that moment. So whatever you were dealing with at that moment kind of took a backseat to that conversation, because that conversation was so it felt like home. Conversations to me feel like home at times, right? So you just got to find whatever your thing is that makes it feel like home for you. Everybody cool? Everybody get that? We're good. Now, listen, I do have an impromptu segment for you niggas if y'all ready for it. All right. So my impromptu segment today is gonna be one that is called "Take 'Em to Church." Yeah, that's right. We're back with it. Take 'Em to Church. That's the segment. Right. So obviously, last time we did Take 'Em to Church, we talked about generational curses and how things are passed.
Generational curses.
Right, and how things are passed down, right? Right. There's a part 2 to this. Okay, y'all ready? Cool. Y'all ready? Welcome to part 2 of the generational curses portion. Now check this out. There's a guy by the name of King David. King David in the Bible was one of the greatest kings ever talked about, right? King David was minding his business. Cool. And the Bible says he goes up onto his roof and he sees a woman bathing by the name of Bathsheba. She look real good. Oh, she fine. So he sends, man, send her over here. Let me talk to her. So he brings her in. He lays with her. Right. Let's just speed this thing up. He lays with her, and she ends up. He sends her home to go wash up. Right. Hey, go get out of here. Go cleanse yourself. He finds out she's married, and he brings her husband. He goes, hey, do me a favor. I want you to come in here. Right. I'm gonna get you getting them drunk, sending them food, doing all this stuff. Say, man, go home and go lay with your wife. Mind you, knowing what he'd already done, right? He's already clued in. This woman's with child. I've laid with her. Let me get her husband to lay with her now. So that, because back then there wasn't no paternity test. I'm like, who's your husband? Oh, so sorry. That's who daddy is, right? So go lay with your wife. He goes, oh no, well, Lord, all my men are out here, all these men are out here. I'm not going back home. I'm just gonna stay here. So he goes, all right, fine. So he gives him a note and says, hey man, take this to your commander or whatever. It tells the commander to put the man on the front line, so he ends up getting killed. Right? Puts him in the most fierce portion of the fight, ends up getting him killed. So what ends up happening is this. This is where the generational curse part comes in. Bathsheba is still pregnant with said child. The prophet Nathan comes and sees him and says, hey man, so check this out, bro. There's this rich man on your land, right? He's inside your kingdom. And he has everything you could think of. He has a neighbor. His neighbor has one little ewe lamb. One little lamb, right? Not much land, just a home and his one lamb. And the rich man killed him and took his lamb. The king said, man, bring him to me and I'll put him to death with my sword. He said, oh, really? He said, yes, I will. He's like, cool. He's like, King David, that's you. That person is you. All right? And King David was like, what? He's like, no, because you've done this, the sword will never leave your home. The sword will never leave your house. Now listen, King David went into fasting and praying and all these different things, but the child that he had with Bathsheba still ended up dying. That was the first part of it, right? The next part of it was, which if you go a little bit further, his son Absalom killed his other son who had raped his daughter. Absalom was killed for trying to take over the land, and his daughter lived desolate for the rest of her days. He lost 4 or 5 children in a small course of time. So much so, even King Solomon was passed down a lot of his father's traits, all the way down to womanizing. He had multiple wives. Got him to all type of little strange stuff, right? So when we start talking about generational curses and mental health together, there are things that can be passed down to you generationally that you don't know, right? Cool? Everybody following? And that is the segment of Taking the Church, all right? May the congregation say amen. Amen. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Right, so, now, a little bit more. What in the world have y'all been up to? Let's get to some real soft stuff now. We didn't already hit all the hard stuff.
I'm sorry, bro. I feel like I need like some peppermint out of somebody's purse after sitting in here for like that. I feel like you know what I mean? Like we got the
or a butterscotch.
Is the choir finna come in? What song?
What the fans at?
I know it was the blood.
I'm being back like this. Yes, Lord.
You know?
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Send Sister Chrissy to the front row with Sister Simone. Thank you very much. Start all the shout music and get to jumping in the front row. Yes,
we
Lord.
talking about mental health. Have you been in the sick and shut in list lately? We want to pray for you.
Like, if you want to sit down with Deacon Trey and Deacon Kush, we got something for you.
Since we on mental health though, I wanted to bring this up. Mm-hmm. Do we have to stop writing people off like AB and Kanye is crazy? Or do people really need to try to figure out what's going on with them? Try to understand their issues. Because I feel like once you do something once, nobody understands you no more. You can't be a human no more.
What do you mean? Like as far as
like people just write people just write you off as crazy after that.
Well, I don't think either of them are crazy. I just think that when people get to that point, and even with myself, like there was a quote I read somewhere, like when people, make it hard to love them, you have to love on them even harder. Because that's just them they're reaching out for something and they don't know what it is. Because even when, you're not okay, like, what do you need from me? I don't know what I need, but I know there's something. So you just got to just be there and support them. I don't think either of them are crazy. I just think that the way that they need to be loved and the way that they need to be helped, it might just be something as simple as what Eric does, is a phone call or come spend time with me, come hang out with me, like, let's go, but they're so vocal and just say outlandish shit that it's just like, I want your attention. And it's just attention seeking. And it's just, pay me attention. I need something, but I don't know what I need.
But also those are people that we can't really help. Like he needs to have his circle help him. And he doesn't have one. So that's why he's like this.
I already told you, I don't think Kanye crazy. This is his first divorce from somebody he truly loved with all his heart, and that's how people act when they truly love somebody.
Hey,
When
Trey, Rob told him that when they was hanging out the other day.
Yeah, Lord Disick said, "Listen, man, I can't have you over fucking on my rip. I know what you be doing with that taking the church shit. We can't have that over here. So go on somewhere else and go hang out with Rob right quick."
I think everybody has these little temporary moments of insanity of once in their lifetime. You know, you might, and then so for some people you experience it more than once. Because you don't understand life per se until I believe you get into your late 30s, or you know what I mean. That's why some people, they say that your brain might even not fully develop. What at 35 for men. They used to be younger, like 20, 25, but I believe it does. You reach a certain awareness where you know your mentality or your mortality, and how much time you have left on this earth, and start taking shit more seriously. Shit is not a dress rehearsal anymore. And then that might, for some people, they can't come to terms with that. You know what I mean? It freaks them out. They just, you know what I mean? You have too much time to think about what's going on at some point. That's what probably, wrecks a lot of celebrities. They've already, imagine accomplishing everything. You know what I mean? Like, you can pretty much have everything you want in life, and it's just what is left to do. You know what I mean?
Imagine let's make it a little bit worse. Everybody tell you you're great every day. People telling you you're a genius. People telling you're the best at what you do, right? And then one day you have one slip up and you ain't shit to nobody no more. That's one hell of a fall. You know what I mean? Imagine Kanye West being Kanye West, right? But since we're talking about him, we're talking about people who are being written off. I don't think we should ever write anyone off who has mental health issues at all. That's just crazy. No, we should all try to figure out what's up, and then we should not give them that attention that's going to help them continue that downward spiral, right? So whenever he was saying the shit he was saying about Harriet Tubman and all that other shit, and he was crying and all that, he was having a mental breakdown at the time.
Yeah.
And instead of people kind of looking at it, they legitimately start crucifying him. No, you shouldn't do that. I think that's completely incorrect, and I think that's the worst thing we could have done, because now we add that to this, right?
I think he's just a giant narcissist with a too big of a platform, and he doesn't know how to control it. Like,
I don't think he's a narcissist. I think that's the most commonly overused mental health statement of all time. Because you know that there's a thin line between narcissism and
having like pride in yourself, confidence.
No. Megalomania. Like being obsessed with complete power is a thin line. It's a very thin line. A lot more people are obsessed with absolute power than they are with just self-importance. Mm-hmm. Kanye doesn't have to have an over self-inflated ego. He's Kanye West. He doesn't suffer from delusions of grandeur. He is as great as people think he is at what he does. Kanye West is a billionaire. These are all things where I would say, like, when we start talking about narcissism, people figured out like one word and attached everybody to that motherfucker because it's the easiest thing. I don't think narcissism is his problem. I think his problem is he's just genuinely misunderstood, because mind you, the only child, the only people in his life were his mother and his father. His mother's gone, and at the time his mother's gone, he's rich as fuck. So the thing to keep him grounded is no longer there.
That's for me. That's where the key is. You don't realize how much you need your mom until you don't have her. So that's like,
no, don't cry, Chris. We know. That's rough. It's really rough, and I think that Kanye, like when we saw what happened with him during the episode with the white girl, what's her name? Taylor Swift. They gonna, wife are gonna kill me for that one. Taylor Swift. People forget he was drunk. His mother just passed away, and he made one of the greatest albums according to people, one of the greatest sounding albums ever. He created an entire sound around that depression that he was in. So that's a lot. And I think the people who have to kind of give that a break. Now, like I said, AB is another one where it's like, okay, yeah, he's saying one thing about Tom Brady today. The next day he's congratulating Tom. Then the next day is this. Then the next day is that. I can see where people get annoyed by it. Don't get it. It's an annoying thing, right? It's an annoying thing to always turn your TV on and see this nigga acting crazy. Go ahead, Trey. What you gonna say?
Now, just sometimes other narcissists don't want to admit that some people are narcissists because they want to hide them up.
Hey, watch this.
Covert narcissists.
Hey, watch this. Watch this. Trey, define narcissism.
Okay. No, but you know what I'm saying?
You shot a big gun and missed.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't think I miss over
Wow,
here.
hit the wall.
No.
But
some narcissists, other narcissists, probably you admitted being a narcissist. I don't have no problem with that.
Definitely not a narcissist.
You know what I mean?
Okay. You
admitted about that.
Hold on. Watch this. Far from narcissist, close to megalomania. But that's me being honest about it, because I guarantee you, if you looked up narcissism and megalomania together, they look exactly the same. You can't tell someone what their intention
the other for you.
But you don't want to admit that he has narcissistic traits.
No, because most people who have megalomania have narcissistic traits.
So, in definition, does that not make someone I don't understand where we're going.
No, it does. No, it doesn't. Having the traits of something does not make you that thing. It just means you have the traits. That's why megalomania is megalomania and narcissism is narcissism.
So, what is the one thing that separates the two?
One has delusions of grandeur, and one's more focused on absolute power. It's the focus that changes it. So you go from one thing to the next thing, right? So can you have narcissistic traits but be a megalomaniac? Hell yeah. It's kind of almost like a prerequisite. But as soon as you lose the idea of absolute power, that's when it changes down to the next thing. Like I said, people have become, I guarantee if I ask you for the definition, what would the definition be?
You're the human dictionary, not us.
So,
I'm asking.
Everybody on your ass today, bro.
So let's just say.
Hey, watch this. Trying and being are two separate things.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here.
I know I'm talking spicy chicken McNugget today, but I'm just saying. So if you're saying he is the definition of the other thing that he is that not still a negative thing?
I mean, it all depends on the person. Yeah, why not? Yeah. You could, I mean, yeah, I would think that's a negative thing personally.
Yeah.
I would.
Bro, did you buy the stem player?
Hell no.
No? That's all.
Hell no. Hey.
Did y'all listen to the album? Did y'all listen to the album?
If y'all get an opportunity, go look at Google. Google defines megalomaniac as a person who's obsessed with their own power.
We knew you were going to pull that up, by the way.
Megalomania.
I was waiting to see how long it was actually going to take you. So.
I got you. No, you got to know what you're talking about before you start talking.
He got to look up narcissists now.
So he was always like this even when he didn't have power, though.
Yeah, because he was upset. Think about this. He was obsessed with being the next Walt Disney, the next this, the next that. I'm this. I'm the greatest. No one's better than me. It was all about.
The dude thought he was Jesus for a long time.
Yeah. That's one of the power. That's why he came out with a song. No one man should have all that. He was talking about himself in a God form. That's what a megalomaniac is. What he is. And people think like, oh, check this out. All right, narcissistic personality disorder is defined as the following: a disorder in which a person has an inflated sense of self-importance. Narcissistic personality disorder is found more commonly in men. The cause is unknown, but likely involves a combination of genetic and environmental factors.
I think that saying that it's found more commonly in men is an absolute lie. just to be honest.
Well, luckily we have women and men in the building. Go ahead. Explain.
I mean, Kush started, so I know I would like for him to expand on that thought.
Women are way more women care more, like women care way more about themselves than men do, like about themselves personally. Like y'all inflate y'all egos way more than we do, and y'all friends help y'all out. Like think about how many females that are really not that attractive walk around acting and talking like they're attractive versus men. Like niggas know when they dirty, when they ain't got no money, when they broke. Women don't.
And a fitted.
Women do not. Women do not. Yeah, let a nigga get a haircut. You can walk around. A female can walk around with a busted up wig on and still act like she. Yeah, Nah,
Listen,
come on,
that dirty
nah.
man's still gonna try to hit on that attractive woman, though, right?
Huh?
That dirty man, it don't matter about the confidence because that dirty man's still gonna try to shoot his shot, though. I bet.
Hey, but hold on, before we get into that, I want to let y'all know something. I was right.
About
I
what?
just thought I should. I thought I should just go ahead and touch on
Let's
this.
make
Trey,
sure we don't forget.
hey, Trey, you're welcome. Okay.
Oh yeah, we circled the block on that, didn't we? Damn, boy,
I
you spun. You
I
kept
thought
spinning and
about it.
spinning and spinning.
Oh no, that's my thing. If you shoot and you miss, I'm coming back for that ass motherfucker.
Goddamn, super gremlin. You know what I mean?
I live this
If
life.
you know anything about Eric, Eric is not going to make you miss the
Oh.
big picture. He
Oh
always
yeah. Oh, if it's up, baby. If you say something to me or do something to me, you know I'm coming back for you.
We
No,
could
but,
have been YouTube stars.
No, but I agree with you though. I agree with you because there's something you said that was right, where you said they both are the same thing essentially. It says here that all megalomaniacs are narcissists. So Kanye would be a narcissist, but not all narcissists are megalomaniacs.
What they would say about Eric?
Eric's not neither one.
But Trey, I said, you say?
I said
Trey?
I don't care what. Hold on, I don't care what Trey say because
Trey.
Look, hey, listen,
you say?
Hey, check this out. Watch this. The name of my show is Ivy Knows Best. If that does not tell you there's a bit of narcissism within just the name itself,
we're clear.
That's what I clearly remember us having the same conversation.
Oh, no, yeah,
that.
sure. We talked about this.
Yeah, and I just yeah.
That's fair. Now I'm
tomato.
Right. Yeah, okay. I was right though. Go ahead.
Yeah.
As y'all saying, go ahead, continue on.
Kush, continue with your statement.
Oh, I made my point. Y'all.
That wasn't you. Didn't make the point.
Y'all could be busted up, broke, and still feel like y'all the baddest bitch on the planet.
I don't think that's narcissism.
But wait a minute. Here's
what is it then? What is narcissism?
I think that's confidence.
I'm glad y'all.
What? Why is it confidence when it comes to y'all?
Wait. I'm hook everybody up here. You know, because I fuck with words. Words mean shit, right? He actually has a slight point. Okay. A slight point on this. And Kush, I'm gonna hook you up with this one because it says here symptoms of narcissism include an excessive need for admiration, disregard for others' feelings, inability to handle any criticism or sense of entitlement.
So how does that come to a woman before a man?
All of the, but 85% of y'all have all of those traits.
What?
That's a lie.
Oh, this shit going up. This is
85% of y'all have all of those traits.
The thing that
from the bad bitch who worked herself up to CEO to Keisha with the 6 kids in the projects, they all have those traits.
God damn.
Well, we should just say it's for men and women then, because we can't just say it's for women all of a sudden.
I didn't say that. I said that the definition said that mostly in men. I said that's a lie.
It's mostly
no.
Because men are more selfish than women.
Oh my! Whoa.
Women have so much to take care of before they.
I would care about your feelings more than you would care about mine.
If you're not taking care of your child, you're first taking care of your house. You're helping take care of your house as a small child. You're taking care of your siblings. You're taking care of maybe your parent. You're taking care of everyone else. So if I decide that at one point I'm going to be selfish, yes, I am.
My God,
I've earned that.
Because
I was raised to take care of other people.
And I will say this. I will say this. All of that, there is only one true form of love. Y'all love y'all kids. That's absolutely it. Y'all don't love nothing else outside of y'all kids and y'all selves like y'all say y'all do.
Is this another subject to go on?
I like. Hey,
you have a vagina, Kush? Do you speak for women? Like, where did this come from?
How do we get? Hey, wait. Hold on. Time out. Hold on.
I'm able to live life and see things and articulate things and figure shit out like most people should be able to do.
No, that's your experience.
Most people should be able to do.
Let's not devalue. Yes, that is your experience. Let's go with that. That's your experience, not in reality.
Yes, I'm sorry you've experienced
that.
There
are 2 other men on the show. What do you gentlemen say?
Start
with Trey. Men too?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go last. Go ahead, go Trey.
I think it all depends on the individuals that you come across and that you deal with and what their life experiences are like. Like I like right now, I talked to a lady. You know, she's the oldest of her family members, her siblings, and the way she carries herself is a lot different than versus somebody that I dated who was, the baby or the middle child. Everybody, and even then, that other, it doesn't really matter. My point is that you're gonna find people that are gonna treat you differently because they've been through certain things, and it's about how you want to bring that person in your life. Because the minute I feel like I'm not being respected or treated well, I'm not gonna deal with that person anymore. But it took me dealing with people who didn't know how to respect my boundaries to let me know what my boundaries are and what I'm going to put up with anymore. And now I'm in a space with somebody where there's I know it's almost like tennis, we have a good back and forth when we figured out each other's game, and now it's not even really it's easy, and the minute it feels too much, we know how to give each other space, and that's what's important. But it's always gonna vary with the people that you deal with, and then at what age status, when you're dealing with somebody, you might have had a lot of bad experiences, didn't date for a long time. Then by the time you hit your 30s, you're dealing with a lot more baggage with people. You know what I mean? And then you're hurt yourself. So it just depends on how your experiences are and the people that you deal with. You might find somebody that'll pick you up and make you feel better, even though you're going through something. So that's just been my experience.
Okay. Now I'm gonna say this, right? Okay. What was the question? So I can answer it completely and thoroughly before I go off on my rant. No, I'm dead serious. Go.
Do you feel as though women are more narcissistic than men? Right.
Okay, so you believe that? So Kush, you believe that women are more narcissistic than men?
Yes.
How Kush feels.
Okay. And you disagree?
I do.
Okay. All right. So here's what I'm going to say. I believe that you're both 100% correct. Yeah, I know it's fucked up, right? Let me tell you why you're both 100% correct. Yeah, because your experiences determine what you know, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, though, if I compared his experiences to mine, and if they're closely related,
and you would say the same thing?
I can't tell him he's wrong. And then if I experience your experiences and we're closely related to your experiences, then I can't tell you that you're wrong. So right now, I guarantee you, Christy, Simone is on your side. Yes or no?
Well, I also think that's because we're both females, and because we're experiencing the opposite sex, just like you are experiencing the opposite sex, right? Like you're saying.
So now watch this. Here's how you break this down, just a little bit. From the time that young ladies are born, right? There's a sense of entitlement that is given to you based off of your sex, right? This is just to kind of drive Kush's point a little bit more. And when you're raised with that sense of entitlement over and over and over, it changes within time, right? So, for example, we know for a fact as a woman, you're taught that boys aren't supposed to hit you, right? You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to do in most standard households, this is what you're taught. Not saying everybody follows me, everybody's raised differently, right? But that sense of entitlement does grow within time, and it goes into other areas where you feel as if, hey, I can do what the fuck I want, and you better not say shit about it. That exists. I can do whatever I want, and you better not say shit. Perfect example. Look at today's feminist movement. Today's feminist movement is ridiculous. It is legitimately the known version of narcissism. They made fun of Nelly for his penis not being big enough, right? But if you said one thing about a woman who's a little bit too big, if someone say one thing about Lizzo, turn off the fucking TV, turn it off. It's over for you. You cancel, big dog. Don't you talk about plus size women? Don't. That's a sense of entitlement that exists within women because there's a whole lot of women that believe this that I've experienced and been through. Now, to help y'all out though, ladies, at the same time, men who have money, the more money men tend to get, the more out of touch they become, and the more more of a narcissist they become because they get this sense of I'm important. You need to tell me I'm important because I reached this crescendo of my life. So there's this point in my life where I need you to give me adulation, et cetera, et cetera. So that's where both of you are 100% correct. Women are raised with more of an ability to become narcissists. Men become narcissists more so based on the fact that they end up making more money eventually in life and they feel more important because of their money.
And I said that I told them that a broke, dirty nigga knows that he's a broke, dirty nigga. A broke, dirty female don't know that she a broke, dirty female.
At all. Because guess what? She's still a woman. Look, perfect example. I don't know shit that Brittany Renner has done except write a book and fuck PJ Washington and fuck famous people. That's all I know. Now, I'm not saying that Brittany Renner I'm sorry. I apologize. Chris, I'm gonna let you off.
My hand is raised.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm gonna stop what I'm doing.
I don't know any household where a girl child has been raised to feel as though her voice is louder than a man. Until now, this is a thing that's happening now. Children are being raised so you're equal to a man. You can do whatever. If we're talking about the way we were raised, you were raised that you're gonna come home, you're gonna cook, you're gonna clean, you're gonna listen, you're gonna obey. That's what girl children have been raised to think before. So the reason why it's so loud and ignorant now is because I can do this now. It's not that women are more narcissistic. What happens when you allow if you leave candy out and leave a child with candy in the room and you tell them don't eat it, but the candy's here? Nigga, I'm gonna eat the fucking candy because I can. Now I'm in a space where I can make noise. I can be this person. I can be ignorant. I can be a man. That's what you're getting now. So it's not that this is how we are. This is now we've been given the opportunity to do that.
Question. I feel what you're saying, but we gotta take this back because remember we just talked about with Kush when you said Kush. I didn't know you had a vagina that you could speak for women. Remember that?
Yes, and I'm not speaking for a man.
I know you're not.
I've been told you a long time ago. Anytime a male makes a great point, you gotta attack his manhood. That's the only route they could go.
Hang on.
That's the only route they could go.
Hang on. I don't think that she's attacking your manhood. But what I am saying is this though, right? The same way that happens, like you're saying, like, hey, I don't know you had a vagina, or whatever the case is. You can speak for women. All those women who feel, well, I can do what men do now. Don't you think that's an unrealistic expectation because you're dealing with men still?
I agree completely.
Right. So that's why back in the day we had more wives in this age or in the age group prior to ours than we do now. We're not raising wives because heterosexual men don't marry other men. That's the reality. If not, granted, like you said, all y'all correct, man. Just depends on what your experiences are. If you've experienced a whole lot of niggas who got money and they crazy and they just do all kind of wild shit, you gonna feel like a lot of niggas do that because those are that's the bracket that you fall into.
Right.
Now, look, here's the thing about it. I've seen more broke women become superb due to social media because they have more of an ability to access rich people.
Yeah.
And they don't target regular people. And the reason why they don't target regular people because regular people don't need adulation like that. The mind of a woman needs adulation to work. If you have a man and your man don't tell you pretty, what you finna do? Be single and find you a nigga that's about to tell you pretty every motherfucking day. I lived an entire life not. You don't never got. Because she know I'm not lying. It ain't a lie. Like, hey Trey, you got a significant other, right? Yes, no, maybe so.
Yeah, I did. I said yeah. I was like,
Here you go.
I said yeah. I said
right.
yeah.
We could hear you. My bad. So all right. So can you wake up a day and not tell your old lady she's beautiful?
Yeah.
Okay, and she's okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay, then you my friend, you have a unicorn. You have a unicorn in your hands. Because I promise you, the majority of women, for every one woman that Trey got, there's 9 other ones that are like everybody else. You better use that adulation somewhere, or she's gonna be getting that adulation from her work husband.
Somebody told me before, I'm gonna tell you you're beautiful because that guy in the gas station gonna tell you you're beautiful and you're gonna be hype about it. So I'm gonna tell you you're beautiful before you leave this house. So him saying it really won't mean anything. You know?
How many times you got smacked on your ass by your man and it make you feel like you the baddest bitch in the world?
For real. I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? That adulation works, right? Like y'all need that to operate. Look, I don't care if my girlfriend smack my ass, and I prefer she don't smack my ass. But you know, it is what it is. But she be like, oh, walks by, rubs my beard or whatever the case might be. All right, cool. That's cool, but I don't need that.
Well, see, my relationship is I don't see her every day because we're not in the same city or whatever. So and you know what I mean. So it's different. Like we're talking through text, like we're just having a regular conversation. You know what I mean? Just talking. That's what I mean by that. Like of course, if we're face to face every day, you know, I'm gonna say something because I'm here. It's gonna be on my heart and my soul to say something.
Hey,
Yeah,
adulation make the coochie wet. You
you
feel
know
me?
what I mean? It's gonna be
I
in
mean,
my
I
heart,
think both
in my
men
heart,
and
my
women need
soul.
that. I tell my boyfriend all the time, I'm like, I let him know that I think that he's attractive all the time. And sometimes he's like, oh, no, stop it. I'm like, I'm not going to not tell you that you fine and another bitch tell you fine. And you just like, oh, hey, bitch. No.
Hey, listen. Want me tell you how he knows that you think he's cute? The way you give up that box.
Why does it all come down to how you give up pussy?
We gonna mention the box on here at least once. I'm being real with y'all. I hate when niggas be like, nah, that ain't the case. Yes, it is, bro. If your old lady ain't letting you hit, she don't find you attractive.
But what if I'm hitting you real good? I'm still hitting the other nigga that good too.
I hope you wouldn't be hitting the other niggas if you my old
I'm
lady.
just saying, is that? But are you really just doing it on that case on the pussy?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm be honest. Most men will do it specifically on that case because I'm getting the box. I don't give a fuck if you tell me anything or not. I don't know. We don't know what you're doing with your stuff anyway. It's yours. It goes with you, and wherever you go, it goes. Like, so I can't be like, hey, let me check my remote, make sure Simone ain't fucking on somebody else. That don't happen. You gonna do what you want to do with your box. It's yours.
I'm just saying, just because I'm giving it to you, good that shouldn't be your affirmation.
But that is affirmation though.
It shouldn't.
Okay. Let's keep it a whole buck right quick. If your man is telling you pretty and he's not fucking on you, do you still feel that adoration? Do you still feel that adulation is the same?
No. I'm gonna say yes, just because my boyfriend is not currently.
He's not here. But if y'all in the same city,
yeah,
and he telling, oh, you look great, but he ain't treating you like you look great, which one means more to you?
You gotta treat me like I look great, not just tell me that I look great.
Thank you. So if you throwing me the box, and let's hypothetically speak and say that you are a wonderfully healthy woman in a relationship and you are exploring yourself with me and no one else and you're faithful, then when you throw me the box and you give me the box, to me, you're telling me you think I look good because you ain't hitting nobody you're not sexually attracted to.
See, that's a different time in life, though. When you're in a different space, when you're in a different space,
that's another
everybody is gonna get it how I live. Like, but
wait, what's that space?
When you are looking for more, you're looking for a deeper connection. It's not just a physical act. It's now
wait. So you want him to get all the way in the back of the box? Is that what you're trying to say?
Get that corner.
All the way in the back corner of the box.
Like, that's where we know that we're operating.
You're that New York come out that corner.
I need the corner of the box.
The bodega box. In the corner of the bodega box. That's where he was.
Hey, how many boxes? hey, hold on, Trey. How many boxes is it now? Hey, how many boxes is it now? It's the Amazon box, the UPS box, the Postal Service box, the bodega box, the toolbox, which we just came up with the other day.
The Badu box.
The Badu box. But the only special people go to that category.
The tackle box.
That's for the older ones,
right? It's a whole lot of boxes in this motherfucker.
hey, look, there gotta be another box. We'll figure it out. Don't worry, it'll come up.
Listen, when you can go, that's a different level. But if you're not at that space, you're gonna get it how I live. Listen, you can do as a woman. If you're just trying to do you, you're gonna do you and not give a fuck. But when you're ready to change that situation, you can and you will.
And the question is how will he know?
You don't know.
No, not you. How does he know?
He
doesn't know. He doesn't.
Well, he might not know.
Because if you bring out your super freak moves on me,
it's important for me to know, not necessarily him to know.
He'll never know. Look, hey, fellas, anybody watching this show, if you subscribe as a male or your adjectives are him or he or whatever the case may be, you do not know. You at her mercy. Whatever she tell you is the truth.
I know, and my people, it's like Simone knows. We literally had this conversation the other day, like, bitch, you different. I know.
And here's another question. Would you, as a woman, if you were a lesbian, would you date yourself?
I would. I'm amazing. I would even date my best friend, even though she's crazy a little bit, but I love her.
That's that narcissist. No, neither one pointed out a flaw about themselves.
Oh, I had
they didn't. The negative part about themselves didn't cross their minds at all.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. I talk about my negative stuff all the time.
Because I would not date myself. Fuck that. No
don't
way.
date me.
That's you though. That's nothing to do with me.
I got
Never
some.
date me.
I got somebody in studio right now that'll attest to that very exact thing. I would not date myself at all.
I would date you.
Well, then you shouldn't be dating them because if you get it
Now you
yourself.
see that both men said no and both women said yes without didn't even think about it.
But think about this though. I'm not dating me. I personally do not or cannot date a woman like me. Make sense? If there's a woman with my mentality, I couldn't date her.
I don't deal with me, so
like I'd be like, you know what? I'm a special person, a special type of person. I deal with that.
If you tough enough to deal with me, I fucks with you. Tough.
I think I'm so tough enough that I can't deal with myself. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's only because like you're talking about your self-love and adoration for yourself. So that's kind of like the point.
All my negatives, I fall out crying in 2 seconds, but I still know I could deal with myself.
So if you deal with a nigga who did that,
I overthink all the time, but I also know that I would be able to handle myself.
But would you deal with a nigga who did that? Would you deal with a man who did those same things?
Honestly, yes, I have. Actually,
no.
I feel somebody that was worse.
Do you prefer to deal with that? That's why it was in the past. We're talking about right now.
No, it's in the past for a different reason. That's in the past. Thank you very much.
That's fine.
Okay, right.
Outside of that, if you were to pick, if you could walk into a store and pick all these categories to put in a man,
but that's not realistic.
Okay, but it's the question.
I can't go into a store and say I want this guy because he's 6'8" and I want him also because he has this on him. That's not realistic.
No. We're talking about.
I'm gonna take this man however he is because of whatever I liked about him. He's gonna show me that one thing about him that I really love, and then I'm gonna fall in love with that person even though he's giving me that other thing. He's gonna give me this crying and stubborn and all the other stuff, but I'm still in love with him because of what that one thing he gave me. That's the difference between women.
Okay, so here's my question.
It doesn't matter what he gives me. I don't care.
My question is, would you pick?
I would date him because of that one, because of the awesomeness that he's been giving me first.
Okay, so
I'm gonna give you my awesome first, and you're gonna love me, and you're gonna take my craziness after that.
Hold on,
you see them hand movements? I feel like
New York.
Listen, hey, look. All I'm asking you is this. That's fine. All that's great. It's all great. But if that one thing did not exist, the greatness that he has, if that scratch the greatness. If a person could walk around with your negative traits, could you deal with that 24/7 is the question.
But this is my thing. We won't deal with the negative only. That's realistically. You're not thinking realistic. I'm not going to deal with you only negative. Obviously, of course not. And I'm not going to deal with that. No, you're right. No, I don't want that.
Let's be real. I'll do it for myself. I don't care if her ass is fat, she rich, got green eyes, clear skin. I don't give. She got all the trimmings. If the bitch got anything going on with her like me, and when I say bitch, I don't mean just if she got any of my negative traits, the shit that I do not like loud, aggressive women. It is not my thing. However, from time to time, that shit, and I agree with you, this is where that shit gets swept on the rug because there's so much other good redeeming qualities, right? But if these negative qualities continue to present themselves, I don't care how fat your ass is. I don't care how nice your breasts look. I don't care how great your face looks. Because this is reality. Reality, you ain't gonna be great all the time. You're gonna be bad just as much as you good. So the question is, can I put up with your bad as much as I put up with your good? Because I promise you, I don't care if his dick down to the floor somehow. If that nigga's a crazy piece of shit, you not putting up with him being a crazy piece of shit just because his dick touched the floor.
Listen, my ex and I were very similar. Like to the point where we had the same birthday. We were like very, very similar. And that shit went on for 7.5 years. And if I didn't end it, it would have still been going on.
Exactly.
So can I date myself 150%? And I just think y'all are gonna have a fit. Women are more stronger to deal with certain things than men are when it comes to certain things.
I agree.
Like, we will tolerate. I'm gonna love you through your bad shit.
That's what I'm trying to say. Exactly.
I agree. No, I agree with that.
Bad shit.
So realistically, even if he has no bad traits, I'm still dating him.
A woman is more will put up with way more shit than a man will for a little bit longer than a man will. When I say a little bit longer, it's because y'all checkout rate is a little bit different from ours.
Right. If I didn't leave that situation, I would have still been in it.
Yeah.
I got the text messages to prove it.
See, look, we started off on mental health and we opened up all type of shit.
But that shit is mental health. Like
it is.
This is all Trey fault. This is because that goddamn bodega box that he picked up from the goddamn
Listen,
of the
that
corner and
bodega
shit.
box.
Pop that
and this-
motherfucker open. Here
and
we
all the
go.
way up. Like, you know where that is. That's that. If you've been there.
It's over there.
Nigga box.
But no, but look, listen, it's all good and dandy. Now look,
Bodega cat.
hey, listen, we can't call it cat. You know, you get in trouble for calling it cat now.
Nah, for real.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's
what?
yeah,
Yeah,
you
was
can't.
you?
Yeah, what?
I
You-
wish a
you-
motherfucker would arrest me.
No, ain't nobody. No, I ain't saying nobody gonna arrest you or anything like that. But you know,
cat.
a woman does.
I say it again. Yeah.
But give me double the sense. No, but what happens is, you know, people will tend to be like, oh, so you're comparing us to an animal. You don't want to do that shit.
Yeah, okay.
You know, that's why, you know, calling me a dog ass nigga don't bother me. It's not a lie. But nonetheless, Trey.
Dogs are loyal though, so we shouldn't call men dogs anymore anyway.
If
now
all
unless you wanna
men
be called-
dogs, then what you call y'all?
Listen, now unless you want to be called, now unless you want to be called,
Hey, they stopped calling them dogs just to call them bitches.
Just start calling men.
and
That's
bitch is a gender neutral word. It's
true.
gender neutral, just like hoe
That's
is.
That is true.
Niggas
In
and
this
bitches
day
and
and
bitches
age,
get
that
it.
shit is very gender neutral.
Yeah. Hey, I have someone said this once. He's a male. He said, I don't like hanging around men because male energy is normally toxic. And I legit said, nigga, put your girlfriend on the phone right now because you're the female in a relationship. Automatically. From the jump. How dare you say that about your fucking self? Nigga, you talking about you. You a man. Like, nigga, like what? You don't want to be around yourself? Like, shut the fuck up.
Right.
I'm sorry. Trey, you ready with the corner, my dog?
Yeah, bodega corner.
Welcome to Trey's Bodega Corner, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Trey.
What's going on? We're gonna talk about the little media music this weekend. What's going on this past weekend, I should say. What's coming up next weekend? I don't know if you guys been tuning in. You guys been watching Bel Air. It's not exactly what you thought it would be. It hasn't been. You know, there's no Carlton dancing to Tom Jones or anything like that. He's dancing to Bobby Shmurda. It's hectic over there. I don't know if you've been peeping or not. They're playing Meek Mill straight out the gate. It's more of a drama so far. It's kind of like Fresh Prince of Bel Air meets Empire or something like that. It's pretty dope though. I'm already on like episode 2 so far, but Uncle Phil is not fat. It's a whole lot of changes in there. You might like it. You might not. I'm enjoying it so far. The Kanye West album came out. I don't know if you got it on the stem player or not. If you just went to YouTube and checked it out, you know. But from what I heard, it's pretty good. Watched the Netflix documentary. So far, that's really good. He's ahead of his time, you know. I think about, you know, you see the little clips with his mom and stuff like that, how much time they spent together, how proud she was of him. What really stood out to me was Jamie Foxx portion on there. Like, I don't know if you ever seen it, but Jamie Foxx tells the story 100 times about how he recorded, I believe it was the Gold Digger song it was the Overnight Celebrity song, I want to say. Yeah, he sung through quite a bit of it, like a lot of his album, and they just showed like how he was using the studio and exactly how he described it, exactly how it was. Like he was singing a certain way. Kanye was like, nah, you know, not like this. Or, yeah, it'll if you were a big fan of Kanye, it'll make you relive some moments and where you were. You know, this stuff goes back to 2002. They even showed a clip of the 76ers playing against, you know, the Lakers. The first thing I thought about was Kobe. So it'll bring a little nostalgia to it. It's very well documented, and I had to, you know, so hopefully there'll be more episodes. I'm sure there is. So I will check that out on Netflix. But yeah, so they had the CIA here. I guess what it is down here near Baltimore. A lot of people were kind of worried about going there. So yeah, I don't even have much to talk about that. They were putting out warnings about where to go and where not to go out here in Baltimore, Murderland. You know, out here in the DMV, you know. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Hey, right on, Trey. Man, appreciate the music corner, bro. That's dope.
Yes, sir.
Wait, was the Donda 2? Was it really good?
From the first 3,
exactly.
yeah. I heard about 3 songs on it, and like to be honest with you, I wasn't a big fan of the other Donda. Like, I liked the song he had with Dirk, but I hate when he kept playing that beat over and over through the whole damn thing. Like, I don't want to hear that guitar at 3:00 in the morning in my car. Like that's too much for me. It's just dang. Like damn, like I feel like I'm at a Guns N' Roses concert. It's just too much for me. You know what I mean? Like I just wasn't
I
feeling
mean,
it.
I enjoyed the Donda album. I'm not even gonna hold you. I enjoyed it. I like the fact that the album was clean. Like I enjoyed it.
Hold on, here's the
Jim was
question:
great.
Did you like that more than you like CLB though?
I enjoyed Drake's album a little bit better.
I did not. I couldn't get through Drake's album. It was fucking terrible to me.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
We
not
don't work
fucking
with
terrible.
We already know we disagree on music, so we ain't even gonna go
That's
there.
fine.
Hey, look, you know what? Look, we're gonna have to bring y'all back another time to do this because this is actually really good. When
I'm gonna have to stand up for the LSC, the light skinned community. I don't like that.
Hey, listen, when everybody, look, I like when we all get together. When we all get together, life is wonderful, right? Everybody's good, you know. And I'm happy that I got an opportunity to really have all of you on here. It's been a treat, actually. I think this is probably one of the better conversations I've had with a group of people in a long time. All right,
I'm so happy I got my girl to come on today.
Give yourselves a hand.
Give yourselves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
She's part of the LSC as well.
Is she? Wait. Hey, Simone, are you part of the LSC light skin community?
I am.
No, wait, no, Trey.
I'm not that proud. I want to go outside and get some sun.
Hey, Trey, here's what we got to do, though. We do got to retcon something you said. You used the term darkies. Yeah, we can't do that. You gonna apologize to all us dark skinned people, Trey.
Well, I feel like I was being attacked because of my skin tone. That's why I said there's definitely
right. So we can't use that you dark.
Yeah. There's definitely
the colorism was completely in the air, but the fact that you work indoors next to Massa makes this even worse. You understand? You are like we don't let a certain group of people say the N word. Same thing with light skinned folks. We're gonna stop all this colorism.
Let me go ahead and clear that. I definitely didn't, mean it. No ill.
No, I'm fucking with you, bro.
I love dark-skinned women.
No. Fuck that. Stand on that shit. Fuck them. I'm
not
not even dark skinned. I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle, exactly.
I'm in the middle. I support everybody. All of us come together. Yeah, hey, fuck that nigga. Yeah, fuck him. Yeah, I like them all. I think Kanye and Drake both had amazing albums. That's how in the middle I am.
Did they? Or did just one?
Drake had an amazing album.
I think they both had a good album, though. I think Drake's album had more hits on it than Kanye's.
I think so too.
But I think Kanye's music was more for people who like have like an eclectic vibe. Like, they like a little bit of everything. Like you got.
I like everything, and I didn't like Kanye's album. So
any of them?
No, I didn't like Donda. That's what I'm saying.
It had about 3 or 4 songs. Like the shit he had with Andre 3000.
Oh, that's just fire.
Yeah. You can take Kanye's verse out there, but I like Andre's whole verse.
Hey, Miss Donda. Yeah. He was hard on that shit.
The whole shit was fire to me. I'm sorry. I loved it.
3 stacks.
Jail was good too. I think he had a nice one. But whatever. That's another situation for another time. All right, so look, guys, what y'all got spending for the rest of y'all day? Because we gotta get y'all out of this thing.
I'm about to wash my face and go lay back on the sofa.
I was literally about to say I'm about to wipe my face. I cannot wait. That's us female. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to watch Bel Air.
Bruh, please, that shit is good.
Yes, I'll watch it too.
All right. And all my narcissists out there, males and females of the light. Hey,
especially these two at the bottom. Let's give them a round of applause.
I want to thank you all, light skin, dark skin community, people with any type of mental health issues. Oh, and rest in peace, obviously, Trey Cousin, man. Hey, rest in peace, cuz. John David Bullard III, rest in peace to him.
Yeah, my cousin John Bullard got this from my kinfolk. Greg made this for me, man. Rest in peace, John.
Yeah, right on. Rest in peace. Hey, and also, guys, listen. If you are having any mental health issues, if you are having any type of thoughts, reach out, speak to somebody. Don't be afraid. I know we talked about a whole lot of things. We just kind of did what we do, but for the most part, bring it all back around. Make sure you do talk to somebody, reach out to somebody. It's always good to speak to people. Let's normalize people having mental health issues and us trying to do things to help them. You're not their God, of course. You're not their doctor, but you having a little bit of an understanding goes a long way, all right? But as always, Ivy knows best. Holla at your boy.